All right, it's finally here. Saturday, February 16th, episode 1, CC TitleTown podcast. I'm your host, Chris. My co-host, Cameron. Cameron, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Super excited to get this podcast going. I know it's been something that we've been working on for a little bit now, and it's finally here.
It sure is. Episode 1. We're super excited. If you had to explain to the audience sort of how CC TitleTown came about, how would you explain that to them?
Just to give a little background on us, we grew up playing sports together right here in South Bend, Indiana. And from there, like, our love of sports just kind of grew. And, lately we've kind of found ourselves on social media, like getting in these debates, I guess you could say, with some of our friends and family, whatever, about different sports topics. And it's like, man, these dudes, I'm just like, we got to tell them what's going on here.
Right. I think I know exactly what you're talking about, because there was one specific day where I shot you a text message out of the blue and I said, "What do you think about starting a podcast?"
And I was like,
and
yeah.
you were just as enthusiastic about it as I was, and that's, I think, kind of how we got this thing started. And it took a couple months to get everything on track, but we're here.
Yeah,
we're here, episode 1. We're
finally,
live.
man. I think we're gonna provide some good content for everybody. I would say we're sports enthusiasts.
Absolutely.
We're always sports is. If we could have sports on 24/7, we would.
Absolutely.
So yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
Speaking of content, let's talk about our first topic. What do you think about the NBA and All-Star Weekend?
So starting with the celebrity game.
Yeah, that was last night.
I was just. It's a little bit underwhelming. It was a little bit underwhelming this year.
Right. Yeah, I think, to say the least.
No disrespect to anybody that participated in it, but there's a lot of people I had never even heard of, and
I know.
I understand they're trying to bring in Instagram influencers, like maybe that's a hit with the younger generation,
right?
Whatever, but I'm like, man, like I didn't know who anybody was except for Ray Allen, Jay Williams, and a few other celebrities that were there, Quavo.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, man. It was just.
The thing one of the things I do like about it, it's sort of like you see those videos on the internet. They're not very good.
Right.
So it kind of makes it funny to watch.
You know what? Yeah.
It
is entertaining.
It is entertaining. Having all these comedians and these random people that, sure, they may play pickup basketball, but having a bunch of people around them watching them play basketball, I can only imagine how nervous they were.
Oh yeah.
And they're not very good. So it is, I think it is entertaining.
Yeah.
To an extent.
To an extent, but you don't watch that if you want to watch good basketball, that's for sure.
No, definitely not.
Unless you're watching Ray Allen.
Yeah.
I mean, he was shooting the lights out last night. So
yeah, that was pretty cool. Last year was the first year I think they did that 4-point line.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That was pretty interesting.
Yeah. I wonder if the NBA will ever take part in that.
As in like a regular.
As in a regular thing, yeah.
I think it was discussed.
Yeah.
I think it's been put out there. I don't know if it's something serious they're thinking about.
God, I hope not. It was just, I'm a real purist when it comes to sports. I don't like big changes like that. That's too much for me.
That's like a game changer.
Yeah, I mean,
the game's
because then you have Steph Curry leading the.
The game's already evolving into a strictly shooting league.
Yeah,
I can only imagine having a 4-point line, but since it is becoming a shooting league, I could see it happening.
Maybe in the next couple decades it might. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah.
Looking at the list of people that played last night, like we said, I guess they came out to say that it was C-list celebrities, but it's hard for me to. I don't know. It's not as entertaining as I think it was in the past.
Yeah, I feel like before they had even people that didn't play basketball, I remember T.O. winning the MVP. Yeah. Terrell Owens.
Right, exactly.
Dude, he was dunking on people.
He was no joke.
I was like,
he was an athlete.
Yeah.
Usain Bolt was there one year.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I thought that was pretty cool to have, I don't want to say celebrity athletes, but,
Right.
Think about who's going to be watching this game.
Right.
You're not going to have a typical, person that doesn't watch sports is not probably going to tune into that.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely not.
Unless you got big time celebrities there, right?
Right. It was hard. It was hard to watch. Do you think that the reason that they have these people playing is because no other, bigger name celebrities want to play? Or because they want to give those people like the Instagram famous people, the Jason Weinmans, the hometown heroes, their own little spotlight or famous run. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And maybe that is part of it. Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know how they go about the selection process exactly. Who gets to, how they ask people, whatever. So if that is how it is, they want to give these people some shine, then cool.
Right. I agree. It's neither here or there for me.
Yeah.
Not something I was spectacular or like, just willing to sit down and watch the whole game.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. It was it wasn't good basketball, but it was entertaining, I guess you could say.
I don't think people really expect it to be good basketball.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's more of a something I could laugh at.
Yeah.
The best way to put it, you know what I mean?
For sure.
That's okay. It's okay. That's why they have it on Friday night and not Sunday.
Yeah.
What I think the skills challenge and the dunk contest are tonight.
Mm-hmm.
They also had the Rising Star Challenge last night.
Yeah, that was I watched some of that. That was pretty I don't know if
I thought that was fun to watch.
It was. Guys didn't play a ton of defense, whatever, but there's some what's really cool about that, I think there's some names out there that not everybody knows.
Yeah, exactly.
And it gives them some exposure, and it's like, man, these I wonder if I'm going to see these guys,
right,
in the future in the All-Star game and stuff like that. Like they, guys were showing off their skills last night.
Yeah, and it was cool. It was cool how they did the, the world versus the NBA, right?
Versus the USA.
Sorry, yeah, USA.
I do like how they changed that up. I think they changed it up a couple years ago.
I think that was something that they're really going to benefit from.
It was the rookies versus sophomores, and I feel like the sophomores were really dominating the rookies in a lot of those.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I do like how they changed it up a bit with the world versus USA. Like, I think for basketball as a whole, for the NBA,
mm-hmm.
it's a global brand, right? And that just kind of reaffirms that.
Right.
We are a global brand. It's USA versus the world. Like, so I like that format a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely something that needed to be changed and definitely changed in their benefit for sure.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It is fun.
It's brought more interest to that game for sure.
Exactly, and knowing that they're a bunch of young guys
mm-hmm.
in the NBA, it kind of shows how we have as the NBA a bright future with who's going to be playing and everything like that.
Absolutely, yeah. The future is bright with the young players for sure.
Especially next year when the draft class comes in.
Oh my gosh, Zion.
Top 5 is going to be ridiculous.
Can you imagine Zion in that game? That's gonna that. I'll be sure to watch that.
Next year you will see it.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, next year you will see it, which is something I will definitely be tuning into.
He might. Who knows? He might be playing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday next year.
Yeah, it's gonna be insane.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be a generational player for sure.
Yeah, he's got the potential for it. But yeah, you were talking about the skills competition and the 3-point, and man, Saturday is.
Yeah, let's set aside the dunk contest. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Okay,
because I think that'll be a
that's a whole nother topic, man. I got so much. Continue. Please continue.
No, the skills challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I think that. I don't know. It's kind of like the celebrity game. It's kind of like a pointless way to get people to come and watch for more money, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
It's not very entertaining. They do some in and out dribbles,
mm-hmm.
a bounce pass, a chest pass, a couple of jump shots.
I'm like,
is it intriguing at all?
Are we watching a camp, like what I'm saying, like
right, like that's,
or are we watching? I really don't know what it's there for, honestly. Like they make it a competition, so people are gonna watch because of that. They want to see their favorite player win or whatever.
Right.
But I'm like, it really doesn't do anything for the casual fan, I don't think.
Yeah,
and maybe that's not their focus with this.
Right.
It's not a primetime event, really.
Right.
So, I'm neither here nor there with it.
Yeah, I think it's just another way to. I don't know. I'm mixed. There's a bunch of kids out there that are watching this that are just loving it, every second of it.
Yeah.
But in reality,
yeah, exactly.
I feel like I could go out there and do that with no issues.
Right.
Is that far fetched to say?
I don't think so.
A couple chest passes, a bounce pass, a couple shots, in and out dribbles around some cones.
I mean, yeah, it looks like a little drill, like a warm up session.
Yeah, and I hate
or a
to
drill
say,
session,
I hate to say it, but I feel like the NBA, and we'll get to this more later, but the NBA All-Star Weekend is really boring.
Yeah, it's a little bit underwhelming. I don't know, I've never been to an All-Star event, so I don't know what the rest of the entertainment is for the fans.
Right.
To
be a totally
I would imagine
experience.
it's probably I would imagine it's a pretty cool show with everything else they have going on, maybe during the halftime shows or whatever.
Right.
Performances they've got going on, but
especially around the cities too, because they always do it in a big city.
Right. But the product that is televised isn't always that great, in my opinion.
I don't think it has been in a while.
Yeah.
Just considering those three events, the celebrity game, the Rising Stars, the Skills Challenge. Just speaking on those three,
I could definitely do without.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you could get rid of all of them and it'd be fine. Give the extra players a day off.
Yeah. Exactly. I agree.
And that's it's just not intriguing. It's not fun to watch. It's boring.
And that's and I would say that we're basketball purists, so.
Yeah. No.
We like to see the whole game. We like to see the stars, and we like to see the stars play well. The celebrity thing doesn't do that for me.
Yeah.
The Rising Stars it's better than it used to be.
Yeah.
Whatever. But the skills competition, I'm like, really? I don't need to see that.
Yeah, it's kind of a waste of time.
Yeah.
It's just something for them to take up a Saturday afternoon before the dunk contest and the 3-point contest come on.
Mm-hmm.
But they could definitely do with getting rid of it.
Yeah.
But the 3-point contest, and the dunk contest, I would say, are very intriguing for multiple reasons.
Yes.
Let me throw this first point out there.
Go ahead.
Because this is something we talked about earlier. If you look at who's playing in the NBA All-Star 3-point contest this year, let me pull this list up. So if you look at who's playing in this year's 3-point contest, you have Devin Booker, Seth Curry, Stephen Curry, Danny Green, Joe Harris, Buddy Hield, Damian Lillard, Chris Middleton, Dirk Nowitzki, Kemba Walker. I'd say that list is pretty...
That's a pretty good list. You got some stars on there.
Absolutely. Some all-stars.
Yeah.
And not speaking of a Hall of Famer in Dirk.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm excited to watch. I get excited to watch the 3-point contest. These are arguably the best shooters in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the biggest names in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Not the biggest, but they're
pretty big
known.
They're well known. They're all known. A lot of them are all-stars.
Yes. Or former all-stars.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that's something I'm intrigued about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something, they're not going to go out there and just kind of lollygag and throw up some shots. They're trying,
they're trying to win.
Shoot.
They're trying to win. Yeah. I think the 3-point competition has, obviously, it's one of the marquee events of All-Star Weekend. This year's list is very strong. There's been some years in the past where it's been,
for the 3-point contest.
Yeah, for the 3-point contest where it's, they're just kind of a spot-up shooter.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know them too much, but these guys, their names are very well known.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to probably start to see more of that with the way that the NBA game has changed. Like, if you want to be a star, you got to be able to shoot the three.
Yeah.
It sure,
If you want to have a long-lasting career in the NBA,
yeah,
you better make it a priority to become a decent shooter.
yeah, and all those guys obviously are, or else they wouldn't be in this competition. So yeah, this is going to be one of the more exciting events of All-Star Weekend, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree, because I believe Steph Curry, is he the winner for last year? Do you know?
I don't think he won it last year. No, he
no,
was
you're
upset.
right. Devin Booker. Yeah,
Devin Booker. Yeah,
you're right. Devin Booker did win. I forgot.
yeah, and he's yeah.
Yeah, Stephen Curry hasn't won in a couple years, actually. I think 2015 was the last year, because then he had Clay win in 16.
Right.
And then Eric Gordon took it. And, yeah, Devin Booker did steal it from him,
Mm-hmm.
which is cool, because I'd say Steph Curry is arguably the best three-point shooter.
It's not even arguably. He is the greatest
Yeah.
three-point shooter. By the time it's all said and done, he's going to shatter every record that's ever been set. I mean, he's broken his own record for threes in a season twice, 2 or 3 times now. Like, the dude is unreal.
So do you think he's a little bitter that he doesn't win this, even though he knows he's the best shooter?
Yeah, I think so, because this is like
That's
he is
his
known.
thing. Yeah, he transformed the NBA, but yet he struggles to win.
He can't win he basically can't win his own
contest.
own competition, quote unquote. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I think he's going to be he's definitely coming out to defend his title as greatest three-point shooter ever. So
Right.
that'll be exciting to see, and it's cool that his brother's in it too.
Yeah,
He's a good
that'll
three-point
be
shooter.
good for them. Yeah,
I know his brother's going to be coming after him for sure. For sure.
I know.
I
I
mean,
would be if my brother.
Steph gets all the recognition, and then here is Seth. He's finally making his way. His name known in the NBA.
Right.
Not as Steph's brother, but he's making a decent career for himself.
Yeah, I hope he continues to do that too.
Yeah. So.
But we'll see.
We'll see. I think it's going to be this. Like I said, it's going to be one of the marquee events of All-Star Weekend. One of the more entertaining events of All-Star Weekend. So yeah.
Right. And then arguably the most liked contest, the dunk contest, every year.
Yeah.
Because of,
I would say at least the most viewed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easily.
Prime time event
Easily.
on a Saturday.
But they always seem to have not the biggest names in these contests, and this is what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I mean,
you watch, like we said, the 3-point contest, the names in that contest, and why there's double the amount of people in it.
Right.
Then you get to the dunk contest, and you have Dennis Smith Jr. He can jump out the gym.
He was just traded from his team. Like, what does that tell you?
Right. John Collins, Miles Bridges, and I don't even know how to pronounce his first name, but Diallo from the Thunder. Don't get me wrong. These are all NBA players. They're great players. And I know they can all dunk the basketball. But I think we agree on a common ground that we want to see these big-name players in this contest.
Dude, exactly. Like, I'm kind of tired of seeing, like... I don't want to say I'm tired of seeing these no-name players
right
in the dunk competition, but when you look at like who has won the competition in years past in the NBA, you've got some big names. Like obviously MJ's won it, Spud Webb has won it,
right?
Guys that are recognizable. You've had Dominique Wilkins,
him and Michael going
oh my gosh, that was that. If you're not entertained by that, I don't know what your problem is. I've got the list here. John Wall's won it. Blake Griffin, obviously a well-known dunker.
Absolutely.
Nate Robinson,
well-known
dunker. Mind you, he hasn't had a great NBA career by the rest of these guys on this list, but well-known dunker. Dwight Howard in his heyday.
Yes.
Jason Richardson, well-known dunker. Vince Carter, arguably the greatest dunker of all time.
Hall of Famer.
Kobe's won it. I mean, none of these...
And that's what I mean. But now, and even in the past few years, we don't see any players like that. Big-name players. LeBron's done. He's past his time. He'll never, obviously, now do it.
Honestly, don't even get me started on LeBron not being in the dunk contest. Like, why not, dude? Everybody loves you. Like, you're probably going to get,
You think he's scared to lose because of all the criticism he would get? That's got to be it.
I think that was part of it in the beginning.
Right.
And
Like I
then
said,
now-
it's way past his time. There's no
Right.
way he's coming back to do this.
I think, yeah.
But in the first 6 years of his career,
Dude, I would have loved to
there was
see LeBron.
there was no reason, not to do it.
I mean, he did it in high school.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, but that's, all the, anyone that can jump out of the gym in high school will do it. The McDonald's All-American game.
Right.
But, like, come on, man.
Like, if you had to pick, and I'll give you my 4 too. If you had to pick 4 players instead of these 4, or you can use somebody in this list if you wanted. Give me 4 people you'd want to see in this contest.
I would love to see the defending champ,
Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah,
I
be there.
I think that should be like a requirement.
I mean, I get it. He opted out, I guess, for it.
Like, yeah.
They asked him to be in it. He didn't want to do it. But it's like, man, come on.
Right.
Where's
Like,
the competition? I mean,
I get it if you're hurt at the moment,
Yeah.
But, like, you should not have to, but you should try and defend it.
I mean,
Even though he was very unimpressive.
The narrative, I mean, let's be real. This whole weekend is for entertainment. So obviously the narrative that would have created would have been great. Like, yeah, defending champion, like coming back to defend his crown.
Exactly.
Cool, but
it's a
he's one of
storyline
them
that people want to see.
Yeah, he's one of them. Oh man, there's a lot of great dunkers, but that to me, like you said, that's a requirement.
Yeah, I think it should be.
Donovan Mitchell, that's a requirement. Like,
I think
unless you're hurt.
Yeah, that's a totally different story.
Yeah.
Not even gonna go down that alley.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Throw some other names out there that are.
I'd love to see Giannis.
Oh, jeez, dude.
Just like, I mean, the dunks that these people put on in a normal game, I could only imagine if they took some time to think about it. But then, is it fair to argue that these NBA players, these stars, have more to think and worry about than taking the time? Because, I mean, it's not easy coming up with some of these dunks.
No, I mean, I get it, but it's for fun. It's like it's not a serious event. You know what I mean? As far as, I don't know how taxing it is on these players to have to get up and ready for this.
Oh, God, don't even get me started on LeBron.
But, man.
Did you see what he said?
No.
After his last game before the break, the reporters were asking him about the All-Star break and how that'll help the players get rest, and he had the nerve to say, yeah, don't quote me word for word, but yeah, that'll be nice for them, but obviously I won't get any break. Like, come on, man. You don't even need to do this stuff.
Right.
Like, don't act like I have to go do all these things over All-Star break and I need this break. You sit out enough games in the regular season to keep yourself well rested, for you to go play a pickup game on a Sunday afternoon with your buddies that you drafted to throw a couple alley-oops, throw down a couple dunks, take a couple of jump shots, and have a good time. Don't act like you're breaking your back over this event.
Man, because, dude, yeah.
I don't know.
I know. I totally agree. I heard. Now that you say that, I did hear that statement, and I was like, dude, you didn't need to say that.
Right.
Like, really?
And why do you have to say it like that? Like,
again, maybe we're too critical of LeBron here on this podcast. Whatever. You can already tell there's a little bit of bias there, but he didn't need to say that. I think most people would agree. Most people that can actually people in their right mind would agree. Dude, you didn't have to say that.
And if that's how you feel, don't participate.
Right.
Take the damn time off and hang out with your family and kids. Don't act like you have to do this.
Man, because you're LeBron.
Right. If you didn't want to do it, don't do it.
Right. You kind of own the NBA in a way, dude.
Don't sit up here and act like you're being forced to.
Man,
and it's a drag, and you're not looking forward to it.
See? Yeah. He loves the attention. But anyways, let's not go off on a tangent on LeBron because we could go all
and
damn
that's just
night.
Not fair to him.
It's not. Anyway. So back to the, dunk competition. I think it's just not what it used to be as a whole. No, you don't have the big name players in it. You don't have it's just not.
They're not
the same.
They're more creative now than they were back in the day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
But
absolutely.
The players that used to do it outweighed the creativeness, I think.
Yeah. It brought the attention to it. You wanted to see your favorite player in the dunk competition.
Exactly. The LaVine and Aaron Gordon dunk contest was awesome. That was the best dunk
Yeah,
contest to date that I've witnessed myself.
because those guys were super creative. I mean, they're
Right.
freakishly athletic.
And they were kind of on the brink of their like make or break year as
Yeah.
far as being better players.
And now those guys are pretty well known.
Right.
You know,
And let's hope that the list that we have, they're on the same path.
yeah.
Because
Let's hope.
It's very likely. And if you had to, let's give a little hot take, Cam. Who do you think is going to win the dunk contest? I have the odds in front of me. I'm not going to tell you the odds
Yeah.
yet.
Uh-huh.
I want to see who you would take.
Based on what I've seen in game and his size, now Dennis Smith Jr. His size, like he's smaller, but he can jump out the gym.
Uh-huh.
That's who I'm taking because nobody wants to see a big 6'10" guy.
Right.
Like, of course you can dunk, dude. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Dwight Howard, kind of. Like, it was cool for him to do it because he was an all-star.
Yeah,
But-
and the whole Superman thing
Right.
with, like
Right.
that made it pretty cool.
Right. Cool storyline, but his dunks weren't all that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's cooler to see a Nate Robinson guy go up
of
and
course.
do a windmill than a Dwight Howard do a windmill.
So with Dennis Smith, that's my pick, honestly, because I've seen him dunk in game, and I'm like, dude, this guy is
Right. He's
a
unreal.
freak.
He has the best odds at plus 175.
Okay.
If I had to pick, I already see the odds. I would take Miles Bridges.
He's pretty fierce too.
He's third at plus 250. It's underrated. He kind of reminds me of body style, a little smaller, don't get me wrong, of Zion.
yeah.
Bigger, he's a little bulkier,
Yeah.
but just freakish athlete, can jump out of the gym.
Yeah.
He's a heavier dude. He's not like a John Collins who's lean,
Right.
skinny guy who
Yeah.
can fly. He's lifting a lot of weight when he jumps.
Yeah.
But he gets up there, and that's who I'm going to take to win the dunk contest. I think he's got a pretty good chance. Hopefully they all get creative and they put on a good show.
And it'll be nice. I mean, Miles Bridges, it's his hometown crowd.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
I mean, who knows? Maybe the fans might influence the judges a little bit.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right.
But yeah, it'll be fun. I think that's a pretty good pick.
Yeah, we'll see.
But putting 50 on Dennis Smith Jr.
50.
So
All right, I like it.
yeah.
All right. Going on to our next topic. The Sunday All-Star Pickup Game. That's what we like to call it here on CC TitleTown. The glorified pickup game of the year with absolutely no defense.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about this.
If-
Like I said, do these players even want to go out there and do this?
Man, I really don't know anymore.
There's no incentive for them to go out there and do this.
Right. They whoever wins, they get more money than the other, but it's
Right.
It's
Do you think anybody out there is really hurting for money?
I know.
Probably
no.
most of them donate what they win today to some charity, I would imagine.
Exactly.
I would hope.
Which is that's great. Cool.
Right.
But like there's no real it's not like the Major League Baseball All-Star game where if whoever wins, whichever league wins, gets home field advantage in the World Series.
Absolutely. I
That's
think that is
huge.
awesome.
Like that's a great
I don't remember if they used to do that or not in the NBA, but if they did, they need to because there should be some incentive besides money for these players to want to win this game.
Well, I don't know that they ever will now because of the way that the whole All-Star game is set up now with the draft.
Oh,
which
yeah, no.
I will say, changing it to a draft is great because it balances out the talent. For the longest time now, all the talent's been in the Western Conference.
Right.
Even more, I mean, I don't want to say even more so now because Kawhi did go to the East.
Right.
And now you got LeBron in the West. So
I think that's
it helps balance out the
That is a
talent.
valid point
Yeah.
as far as balancing out the talent, but I really think it's the only point. I think that the draft was just another way because this is the first year it was televised.
Mm-hmm.
Boring. I don't.
Yeah.
It's just more money that the NBA is trying to make.
Yeah. Hey, they're in it for
More
their
power to
business.
'em type
their
thing.
business,
Right.
whatever.
I get it.
That's fine.
I get it.
It is more.
Is it more interesting, do you think, to the audience to watch an NBA All-Star draft, even though another thing for the people that didn't make the All-Star game, that should have made the All-Star game, they have all those votings.
Yeah.
Hey, go vote for the All-Star
Right.
on the public. Does the public votes even matter anything?
No, they do.
Shout out boy D Rose, favorite player of all time.
Hey.
He was ahead of 85% of the people that made the All-Star list, and he didn't get it. So it's bullshit.
It does.
Anyway.
It does. I know. Yeah. I know it does. The people's vote does matter. But these starters, I don't think he had quite enough to be a starter, voted as a starter.
Right.
So once it's past the starters, like you don't, the fans' vote counts, but it doesn't. You got the player vote and the coaches vote and everything.
Yeah.
So they're around these guys all the time.
Exactly.
I get it. Look, I voted for D Rose. I wanted him to be in there. I think
he deserved it.
What hurt him a little bit was him being hurt towards the end of the voting and
Missing
everything
a
a little bit. He just missed a couple games with his ankle and
his
stuff.
His name obviously isn't what it used to be.
But
LeBron misses 17 games, obviously top of the leaderboards. He's not on LeBron's level as far as his name brand anymore, which makes sense.
Or his performance this year,
obviously,
but
his performance this year has been great. I think he's gonna get paid next year. I hope.
Oh, he will. He will. He'll get a nice contract. I think.
I hope so.
Maybe not long term, but definitely more money. Man, I love D Rose. Like you love D Rose. Like for him to resurrect his career basically this year is awesome.
It has been awesome to see.
And if he don't win Sixth Man of the Year, man, I'm gonna be hot.
There's a lot of basketball left to be played, but he's definitely in the running. I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's that's definitely fair to say.
For sure. But back to this pickup game we're talking. I mean, the All-Star game.
Right.
Let me rephrase. But
don't want to confuse anybody.
Right. It's cool. It's entertaining.
Do you think a lot of the NBA players that are in the All-Star game feel the way LeBron does? Like, I got to go do this again. Like, it's a lot of the same players every year.
Yeah.
Do you think he's just the one to say it, and he's just the one to take the backlash as far as, all right, I got to go do this All-Star game again?
I don't.
Or do you think they, most of them generally enjoy it?
I think especially a lot of the younger guys, they're veteran but younger guys that are in it, I think they enjoy it.
Yeah.
And obviously D Wade and Dirk are gonna enjoy this weekend too. It's their last go around. Yeah,
especially for them.
But I just think I don't know how the veteran guys feel, like the older guys.
Right.
Because it's just kind of. It is another thing for them. They're focused obviously on the playoffs and things like that.
Right, like there are bigger things to worry about than this game.
Absolutely. But I think even LeBron, like he
probably didn't mean it the way.
Yeah, maybe not so much as because I think he said that after they were coming off a loss.
Right.
So he's probably a little bit down, whatever.
Heated about. Yeah.
But LeBron, he'll do things for the fans.
Right. No, yeah, he is great off the court. I'll give him that.
And I think this game is for the fans, really.
Exactly.
It's not for anybody else.
Right.
It's for the fans. It's to, they got some pretty cool sneakers, great, they have special All-Star game shoes.
Exactly.
What all that kind of stuff is fine. It's entertainment, like I said. This whole weekend is for entertainment.
Right.
Nothing else.
That's fair to say. And that's why they sell out every year for these events.
Yeah.
You know what? They don't even want to know how much they make off of it.
One thing that I fear about the All-Star game or the All-Star weekend, is it kind of becoming like the Pro Bowl?
Oh, yeah.
Because let's be honest, the Pro Bowl is a disaster.
Yeah, they need to just get rid of it. They need to just stick to the All-Pro.
Yeah.
Give them their credit for being All-Pro and get rid of this Pro Bowl game. It's very, very hard to watch.
Yeah, and I just hope that the NBA doesn't. The only thing that I think saves the NBA versus the NFL, and I kind of made this point earlier.
Right.
The
contact, the collision
whole
sport.
Yeah, the whole like NFL game pretty much is about contact.
Right.
It's a collision sport.
Right.
In the Pro Bowl, they take the collision away.
Right.
You can't
which
hardly
takes the game away.
which takes half the game away. Like, it's cool seeing Jalen Ramsey scoring a touchdown at a wide receiver position.
Right.
Whatever. That's entertaining. I'm cool with that, but like, these guys aren't even hitting.
Right. It's not like it's like taking dunking out of the All-Star game.
Yeah. You
Like,
take a lot of the game out of it. And
yeah.
so that's what I think will save the NBA and the All-Star game. Is
Right.
you get to see at least their offensive skill.
Yeah.
And
You're going to see a lot of points get put up.
yeah,
You're gonna
and
see
that's
a lot
fine.
Of cool dunks, I agree. But
You're not going to see no defense.
Right.
But
yeah.
that-
Well, we barely do now in the NBA, so it's
Man,
not much new to that.
You got the double step backs with James Harden, and other guys are probably going to try and pick up on it. They need to crack down on that, because that is a damn travel. I don't care what nobody says.
Well, yeah. I mean,
That is a travel.
traveling in the NBA is like a forbidden rule that exists, but no one calls it.
It's there only if you take 5 steps, unless you're Bradley Beal. I mean, they counted the steps the other day. He took 5 steps.
Yeah, that was pretty ridiculous.
And then they came out and said, "Oh no, he didn't travel. He lost control of the ball, so he didn't travel." Are you kidding me? Whatever,
It's like referees need to be held accountable just in every sport. If they blow calls like that, not specifically that one, because I don't remember if that influenced the game. Actually, that one actually really influenced the game because he traveled. Anyway, the referees need to be held accountable, and that needs to be a thing. Like, they need to, I don't know if they need to get fined. They need to be suspended for a game. Like,
Yeah.
they can't just blow it off like they didn't miss it.
Right. Because players mess up. Players lose their temper. Players,
Right, yeah,
and they
and
get
it's
suspended and fined.
Fines,
And
yeah, exactly.
Granted, they make a lot more money than these refs do, but like, I mean,
Doesn't matter. Everybody's got a job to do.
right? Exactly. I totally agree. So that's another topic for another episode
I agree.
for sure. But yeah, man, I said,
it's just like we said, the traveling rule. It's there, but it's never used. It's kind of like the tampering rule.
man,
I mean,
tampering.
it-
Tampering in the All-Star draft.
I mean, I don't even think it should be a rule.
Because we all know what's going on.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Every game, probably.
I mean, these dudes are they're all good buddies. The NBA is a
which I don't like.
is
Like,
a
I wish they
brotherhood.
had some enemies.
man. I do miss that NBA, but yeah,
Like LeBron and
nowadays,
Steph, like, do they even like
dislike each other at all.
I get it, like, no hard feelings, but like show me that there is something there. There is like a line
rivalry
to draw. Yeah, exactly. Like,
and maybe that's kind of the evolution of especially basketball that I'm seeing. There is, man, everybody's friends, and I'm like, man, that's cool, but like, there's no
the one person I will say, Russell Westbrook.
He hates everybody, man.
If you're not on his team, good luck.
Man, if you cross him in any way, he does not care. He will come at you, like on the court, off the court, in the media, whatever. So I appreciate Russell's game
Absolutely.
for that.
The way he plays the game, the way he go about every night, goes 110%.
Yeah.
Doesn't stop. I don't care what anybody, including Colin Cowherd, says about him.
Mm-hmm.
He will go down as one of the greatest basketball players of all time, and that's just a fact.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Something we never seen before.
He's electric.
Every single night.
Yeah.
Every single night.
You got to appreciate that about him. He brings it.
Yeah.
His motor is on 100 all the time.
All the time.
So,
and don't get me wrong, I think Paul George is and should be considered to be, in the MVP race. He's having that kind of career. But Russell Westbrook, he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. You can't. I just don't see how people hate on his game because of that. But he's great.
I agree. And back to the tampering thing. Do you think it's anything that the NBA is now trying to act like they're very concerned and that it's an issue in the NBA and they want to put a stop to it?
Well,
Does that matter?
it's,
I think it should. I'm gonna just answer my own question that I asked you.
mm-hmm.
It shouldn't matter to the players. The players are gonna do it regardless.
Yeah.
Like LeBron went to go watch Zion the other day.
Yeah, that's not really.
Yeah, I'm not. That doesn't concern me. Does the Magic Johnson and Ben Simmons thing concern you?
A little bit. I'm a little bit concerned about that for the simple fact of Magic's putting the ear. I don't know who initiated the conversation,
Right.
but it's, there's talk between those two. It's like, yeah, hey, you should. Who knows what's going on in that conversation? Maybe it's just a little piece of advice because, hey, maybe Magic sees Ben Simmons as a similar player to him.
Mm-hmm.
Which I would definitely agree if someone said that. Like, yeah, Magic and Ben Simmons are kind of similar, bigger guys, point guard,
Right.
Great passers.
Right. If Magic wasn't the owner of the Lakers, obviously there would be no issues.
Right, but
since he is,
he owns the Lakers. He knows what being an LA Laker, the pride and everything that's behind that. Like, you're not saying that Ben Simmons is enticed to be a Laker someday,
right? And there's not a little influence behind that.
Come on.
Like, or even if there wasn't now, when you guys did sit down and talk, and you were giving him a few pointers, there wouldn't be a little influence behind that.
Yeah.
To
Right.
to come to the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
But,
exactly.
like they said, prove it.
Right.
Prove it.
You
that,
can't.
Yeah.
And you can't. And,
Exactly.
And it's like when LeBron met with Anthony Davis earlier this year.
Right.
Come on, man.
Right.
What was said at that dinner table, you can't tell me that LeBron wasn't like, yeah, man, it'd be great to have you play for the Lakers. I mean, it came out a month later or so.
Exactly.
LA and the Pelicans were trying to make a trade.
And the Lakers were willing to give it all.
They were basically willing to sell the farm up for one player. Crazy to me, but that's for another day.
I don't even know if I would do the trade. I don't think I would, just because the Pelicans are smart. Anthony Davis isn't gone after this summer. He still has a whole nother year on the books.
Yeah.
So
they can still take more offers from people.
Yeah, even if you get less picks but more players from, say, the Celtics, could be worth it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, they would have been, in my opinion, dumb to take that offer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they may not get another offer like that as far as the picks go and the players, but you don't know what those young guys are going to turn out to be.
Right. Yeah.
Ingram's on like his fourth year, and he's not even that impressive.
Right.
At this time, he should be doing better than he is.
Yeah. Totally agree.
So, I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. Tampering definitely goes on in the NBA, I think. In my opinion, honest opinion, like, they're tampering. But you can't prove it. You can't prove it. These guys are all buddies.
Yeah.
They want to play. All of them want to play on the same team.
Right.
But you can't prove it. Is the problem.
And I feel like it's been that way for a long time.
Yeah. Well, I don't even want to say a long time, because with social media and everything, like the connectivity that everybody has.
Right.
I feel like it's only been a problem, maybe not even within the last 10 years.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just, yeah.
And I think that
everybody's so connected now.
Yeah.
So
through multiple, not just from playing basketball.
Right.
There's more to it than that.
Yeah, it's more than just basketball.
But over under 200 points tonight. 400 points combined.
For the All-Star? Oh, no, man. It'll be under.
Yeah.
But
could you see one team putting up 200? Hasn't been done yet.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
It's not too far.
I could see that. Yeah. I could see that. Will it happen?
I don't think it will either.
I don't know, man. I think the over-under was like 3-0. Combined was like 309.5. I saw the LA odds.
Oh, okay.
Or the Las Vegas odds.
I'll take the over.
I'm taking the over for sure on that. I mean, you're telling
doubt.
Me that it's going to be 155?
Right. Yeah. No thanks.
Yeah, it'll be more than that.
Over.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Like I said, this whole weekend's for entertainment.
Right. Nothing serious about this.
No, and it's
a good and a bad thing.
Yeah,
If other players feel the way LeBron feels, as far as this is more like a chore, they should speak up and just not
just
do
sit
it.
out. Then dang,
Yeah,
we
just
don't
don't
want
do
you
it.
here anyways.
Right, just don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't ruin this for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, this is their first time there. It's going to be Wade's last time there. You know, don't ruin it for them if you don't really want to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just a show.
I agree.
So
It is. It is. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But, all right. It's been a good episode, man.
Yeah. Our very first one.
Very first one. We're going to end it with a hot take. For college basketball, we got Kentucky and Tennessee tonight. Number 1 versus number 5. Who are you going with? You going with the upset?
While it is in Rupp Arena, Kentucky just came off a tough loss last weekend, I believe.
Yeah.
At home as well. They're probably going to come out with some fire. This is a historically great program, strong program.
Mm-hmm.
John Calipari's got them playing really well this year after a rough start. But I'm going with Tennessee. There's too much experience. Yeah. Too much.
They're big, man.
They're a threat to Duke because of their experience.
Absolutely.
And I before the season started, I was like, Duke's going to win it all. I don't care what anybody says.
It doesn't matter.
But
right.
Tennessee is a serious title contender, and I see them winning by 2 or 3 possessions.
Okay.
This game.
That's fair. And like you said, anything can happen in March Madness, and we'll get to that in a month or so. But you're going with Tennessee.
Yeah. I don't know what you got.
I'm just gonna go with the odds. They're giving me Kentucky 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that. I'll take the 2.5.
Really?
I'm gonna go with Kentucky.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
I think it'll be a good game. It'll be fun to watch.
I think you're sleeping on Tennessee, man.
I'm not. Trust me, I'm not sleeping on Tennessee by any means, and I think they are gonna make a deep run. But I do think that Kentucky, despite the loss that they just had, they are a very hot team.
Yeah.
And that loss was very controversial, in my opinion.
That's very true.
And, they're playing great basketball. So if they don't let that loss get to the head, which I don't think Calipari will let it, it'll be a close game.
Mm-hmm.
I could see them, winning by 2 points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
all right.
That's my hot take. All right. And that's a wrap to our first episode of CC TitleTown. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm your host, Chris. My co-host, Cameron. Let them know how they can listen to us next week.
Yeah, you guys can subscribe to our podcast. It's CC:TitleTown, all one word, at iTunes and Google Play. We'll check you guys next week.